Okay. It's your boy, Boss Up Great. And you know who I got online right now. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? I know you guys couldn't wait for us to come live tonight. And we got an interesting topic that we're about to be talking about and delving into. And it's talking about growth and pain. What is growth and pain? How can you grow if you don't have pain? And pretty much, I'm gonna let you go ahead on and start it. Queen.
Yeah, man, it's just what you say. You can't grow unless you go through some type of pain. Like some of the best athletes you see, they went through some type of pain to get to where they at. So anybody you see doing something that you think is successful, or whatever they doing, they went through some type of pain to get there. But it's like
Exactly.
pain is a prerequisite. It's like a by law, by nature, you gotta go through something in order to grow. Because if not, you're just gonna be comfortable and stay stuck and stagnant. And I don't think that's what life is all about. So
Exactly. Exactly. You can't expect to be able to grow if you don't go through a little bit of something. It's just like trials and tribulations, and testimonies in general. I mean, you have to be able to have that testimony to be able to tell people about where you came from. Nobody wants to hear a success story if you ain't never been through nothing. Like, what the hell did you do to be there? People just expect to be able to get to the success without any type of uh, adversity. I mean, obviously, you're going to have adversity and different things that's going to try to happen in your life around that journey to pretty much distract you, to hold you back, to make you say, you know what, I'm not going to continue on and I'm going to quit. But if as long as you keep on going, the mindset should be that you will be able to get to where you want to be on that particular journey. Um, Perfect example. I know a young lady that you know, she played football, and she started off when she was younger, and they always say, that she would never be able to, you know, play with the boys and stuff. But as she got older, they came out with leagues that, said that she could play professionally. I mean, it's not like professional because they haven't made it a professional yet. But she ended up delving into that particular realm and became a success story in her nation where she was, to be able to uh, be like a star athlete in her city. And I know you played a little bit of football too. Could you like kind of like tell me a little bit about that experience for you in that journey?
um I think a lot of the times throughout my life I try to rush everything. Cause it's like it's funny when you're a kid you can't wait to get older. Like as far as being an adult, and then when you hit that stage where you realize you're an adult, you know you're an adult. It's like you rush through things that most adults want, right? Most adults they want to get married, they want to have kids, they want to have a nice fancy house, they want to have two, three cars or whatever, nice vehicles. And you rush that, and so um, throughout my journey in sports, I ended up having an injury that led to me finding out that I had something deeper going on than what I thought. Because I can remember, just like yesterday, August the 20th, I was at a friend's house, and I had a game, maybe like a few weeks prior to that, where I had got hit a certain way, and immediately I fell. I didn't think it was. I knew it was an issue, but I didn't think it was like a real too big of an issue because when I got up, all I did was take my knee. Because most athletes, we think, okay, we athletes, we're gonna have little minor injuries, we gotta brush it off and keep going. So, nevertheless, I'm at a friend's house, and all of a sudden I had fell trying to reach the couch, and when I slipped and fell, and I couldn't control my fall. I knew something was wrong, and so I had went to the emergency room, thinking, okay, this ain't nothing. This is just, probably another little sports injury. And I'm sitting there I'm waiting to get my name called so I can go to the back. At this time, I'm really not too worried because I figured, it's the end of the season. What's the worst that could really happen? What y'all gonna come tell me? I sprained something, I broke something. Okay, I'm gonna brush it off and keep going. But then things changed when I realized I was going to the back for a CAT scan. I've been to the emergency room quite a few times. Like I said, being an athlete, you have issues. You have little bumps and bruises. So I go to the back and I'm getting a CAT scan, and in my brain I'm thinking, I wonder what's going on here because a CAT scan it seems a bit much. It's like did they find something and they're not sure what it is, or what's up here? So I did the CAT scan. I go back to the waiting room and I'm just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, here comes the nurse coming. Uh, she looked a little distressed on her face, which that kind of, for the first time I was sitting there, I kind of felt a feeling of unease. And I'm sitting there looking at her face, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, okay, what are these people about to tell me? I broke something probably. Oh no, now I can't work probably for the next few weeks because by profession, I'm a truck driver. So I go to the back and I see the doctor, and the doctor he looks at me and he looks disturbed on the face, and I'm like, God, everybody's looking so disturbed. So I'm sitting down on the chair, and mind you, my knee was in a lot of pain. So it's not like I just rushed and went anywhere. I took my time sitting and I took my time walking. So you can imagine I'm taking my time. I'm easing down in the seat, trying to adjust my leg to keep it from being too painful. And I'm looking, I'm feeling the energy of the room. It wasn't that great. It was kind of low. So the doctor, he looks at me, he looks back at his monitor screen, and he points and he asks me something. um, Can you tell what this is? And I'm like, no, not a doctor. So why would I be able to tell what that is? All I knew was it looked like a great big old black spot. So he says, well, um, this here seems to be a tumor, but we're not sure yet. We have to get some more results, some lab work done. We got to get some more um, x-rays done. We got to just get some things done that we cannot do here at this hospital. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you just sent me and had me do a CAT scan and I already did an x-ray. And he was like, yeah, but this is serious. And that's when I was like, okay. Like I instantly, how it's almost like you're sleep a little. You're not asleep, but it's like you're here, but you're not there. And when somebody tells you something like that, instantly, it's almost like you get paralyzed in your seat because you just really you hear what they're saying, but you can't believe it at that moment. So he looked at me. He said, "Yeah, this is big and this is serious. We're gonna have to rush you to another hospital that can definitely see what's going on and what may need to happen in order to get this taken care of." So you can imagine at that point, I'm just like, oh my God, the biggest question that most people want to know when you go into a hospital room and doctors say things like that, the next question comes, how serious is it? And am I going to die? I'll never forget just going back out into that waiting room, just looking around, just waiting, anticipating, not sure what was going to happen, and remembering that they had called for an ambulance to come get me from the hospital to take me to another one. And I just remember seeing the two young ladies when they arrived. They pulled up, they had smiles on their faces, and they were just so cheerful and jolly that for a moment I forgot how I felt because, they treated me so good. It put my heart at ease. And, they were even like, oh, it's probably no big deal. Things like this happen all the time. We're going to get you there and they're going to take good care of you. Nevertheless, I'm on the ambulance and I'm going for the ride, and oh my God, the pain was excruciating. Just every little bump that was in the road, I felt it. Every time every time they switched the lane, I felt it. Like it's like how you go from something that's painful, but then when somebody tells you what's going on, it's like it becomes 10 times as painful. So I get to the hospital and um The doctor comes in the room after they get me all situated and everything, and he says he wants to have me do an MRI and another CAT scan and some more blood work, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if this is something that is so serious that it could take me out of here? You know, and at that moment, you think about everything that you feel like you didn't get a chance to do in life, things that you probably would do in life. And I just remember sitting in the hospital room. My husband was there. My kids, they were there. And of course, kids, they don't really understand and know what's going on, so they don't look like anything's wrong. They look happy and smiley, but look at my husband's face, and I was just like, no, I can't look at him because he just looked more distraught than I was. And I just remember everybody, you know, checking on me, kept asking me how I was feeling, if I needed anything. And finally, the doctors come in and they said, "Yeah, you definitely have a tumor. We don't know how serious it is yet, but once we get all the results back, we'll be able to let you know what the plan is from there." And I'm just like in my brain, oh my God, a tumor. I never thought it would happen to me. 33 years old, athlete, eating healthy, no real complications, no real issues. And then finally, I come across a point in my life where I'm like, God, like this cannot be it for me. Like, you know how in your early 20s you think you're going through something and you think you grew out of it. Then you hit another point in your life where you're like, darn, now I'm in my 30s. I'm thinking, okay, I grew through a lot of things already. What else? What else can I possibly be going through that I have to grow out of? And so I remember just sitting in the hospital room for like a day at this point after everything was said to me the first day about what was going on. And I just remember, the doctors and nurses coming back and like in and out of the room all night because when you're in a hospital, you can't sleep because they're constantly checking on you, giving you medication, asking you how you're feeling, taking vitals. Go ahead. No, don't mess with that. Put it up. Taking vitals and um, like I said, just checking on you all night long. You can't sleep, and I already couldn't sleep because I was worried about what was gonna happen. So I just remember, just like it was yesterday, about 10 doctors came in the room. One that was gonna actually tell me what was going on, and the rest were actually just taking notes on what was going on because they were learning. And I just remember the doctor saying, "We need to perform. We need to perform a surgery, but we can't do it. And there's only one doctor that we know of that can do it, but he's not available." And I'm like, in my brain, okay, he's not available. You got one doctor that can do it. Um, when is this supposed to take place? Like, how much time do I have? They couldn't even answer that. So imagine I got this issue going on. Nobody knows how serious it is. They just know now at this point I do need to have surgery, but nobody can tell me when I can have surgery. Nobody can tell me when this doctor is actually going to be available. So I sat in that hospital for 4 days before I actually saw the doctor. And when he came in, he looked at me and him and his team, and he was like, "Are you okay? How are you feeling?" And he was like, "I got some good news and I got some bad news." He was like, "Which one do you want first?" Of course, nobody wants the bad news. I mean, yeah, I want good news, but then it's like, how good could it really be if I'm here and the situation is like it is? So he tells me the good news is the tumor in your leg is benign, meaning it's not cancerous. And I'm like, woohoo, thank God. That's great. Um, that's great. But then the other side of me is like,
That was amazing. That was great.
yeah, it was. Then the bad news was, okay, this is what we got to do. You see where it's at right here? Yeah, all of that has eaten up the majority of your femur bone. And I'm like, what? So you mean to tell me that's why I'm walking around like a little chicken leg, and can barely stand up straight and walk, and that's why I can't control my falls. So he's like, yeah. and it's pretty serious because if we don't get this taken care of, there's a possibility you could die if it reaches your lungs. And nobody wants to hear that. That's the last thing you want to hear. So in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, Callie, you're gonna get through this. It's nothing that you can't get through, but you can deal with a little surgery. That's what I thought in my brain at that moment. Until until he looked at me and said something else, and then all of a sudden I kind of felt like I got the bubble guts, the real bubble guts, not to just being nervous. I really felt like I could have went to the bathroom, but I just remember him saying, "Okay, so yeah, we do have to perform a surgery, but this is the type of surgery we had to do. Now I got to go in here. I could scrape out the tumor. That's not going to do anything because it's already ate up this amount of your femur bone right here, as he's showing me. Because doctors always they got them big behind words. You don't know what that stuff means, and they're using it, and then they're constantly using their fingers here, 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 and you're like all lost in the sauce. Like, oh, okay, all right, cool, yeah, whatever. Get to the nitty gritty so I can get back to my life. In my brain, that's what I'm thinking. So he finally says, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a distal femur knee replacement. And I'm like, what? You telling me at 33 years old I gotta get a full knee replacement? And it wasn't just like a regular, put a little something here and a little something there. No, that meant actually cutting off half of my thigh bone, replacing that with a rod that goes up into the rest of my thigh bone, replacing the whole knee, and have another rod going down into my femur bone. And yeah, that's about to be your leg. And I'm like, okay, it's like, how do you prepare for that? You can't. So that was August 20th, I found out about having a tumor. August 31st, I had to go in for surgery. And you talking about growing pains. Like, in the beginning of the process for me, right after surgery, I had got severely depressed. And the doctor, I remember he told me once he performed the surgery, they were going to give me about at least 6 months before I could even now stand up on my leg. And it would probably take about a year, truly, before I really could start, like, really, really walking on it and feel comfortable about it. So, like I said, I fell into like a very deep depression. I drank a lot more than I ever did. I was more angry. And when I say angry, when I got really angry. Like I said, I was very sad. When I was happy, I was just like, trying to find something to be happy about. But once I started physical therapy, I realized this thing that happened didn't just happen to you, it happened for you. It happened to show you another side of yourself that maybe you forgot was there. 'Cause I think that's what happens sometimes in life. We go through so much that everybody really is great. It's just sometimes life happens and you forget that you're great. Sometimes you have other people around you that say things to you that they don't feel great because life happened to them. So now you're feeling like maybe I'm not as great as people make it sound like that I could be. But it was like a reminder to me that you're gonna go through some things in life, some big pain in life, but you gotta grow through it in order to get to the other side and see why it was worth it. Because everything we go through, it's a reason. It's a reason for the pain. And if you just sit there and you settle in that pain and you don't grow, you won't get to experience the best parts of life. So, so basically, after my physical therapy started, I was so determined to not allow this situation to get me down because I loved football, but because of the surgery, I could no longer play. So I had to put my energy into, well, what else can I do that will continue to make me want to get out of bed every day to make myself better. The other thing was trucking because I love trucking. I love driving trucks. And I also was in a situation in my relationship that I hated. Like some people, you ever been to a point in your life where you're trying to come out of something, but then it's almost like something happens and make you feel like you got to take 10 steps back Now you're relying on somebody that you don't even want to rely on, and you have no other choice. And that was me. So all the growing pains that I felt that I had, it all pushed me to not only walk, but the doctor said it was going to take me 6 months. When I said I was fully walking in 2 months, even though I had a cane, I was walking. That was because I was so determined, and the pain that I felt that I was going through at that time, it propelled, it pushed me, and I grew so much out of that situation. It taught me more patience. Now I still have my struggles from day to day, just like anybody else, because what happened was very traumatizing. However, it also showed me how strong I am and how strong I can be when I have to be. I think I read a quote one time. Sometimes you don't know how strong you are truly until you have to be strong, and it's true. So, along with growing pains, growing pains comes to it teach you something, but it's only if you allow it to. So that was my growing pain in this season of my life, and because I went through that, I know that even on my down days, I still have something to look forward to. But guess what? I only have something to look forward to if I create something to look forward to. But to just lay there and wallow in my sorrows and feel bad about the situation, can't do that. And there's a lot of people that you come across something in your life that hits you on the blind side. You don't see it coming, and you just quickly want to give up because you feel like, well, what's the point? What's the purpose? Like, why did this happen to me? I remember I heard Les Brown say, "Well, why not you? You got any names? Would you suggest somebody else go through that?" And I definitely wouldn't. But that's how you got to think of it. Like, what's your growing pain, and how can you use the
That's a good
pain
one.
in order to grow? So yeah, that's what I got. That's all I got for y'all today.
Well, that was an amazing story. I teared up uh, quite a bit off
Hmm.
camera, but I don't care. I don't even know how to take that and that, but nobody told you that they're proud of you. I very much am proud of you, and just for you to be able to be here in your presence tonight and to be encouraged that
Yeah.
you recovered so quickly through the grace of God. Um, that's amazing. That's amazing, and my hats is off to you. And I pray that you continuously grow, and that the ones who actually are watching will hopefully be encouraged and be able to grow
Mhm.
from what we pretty much have did tonight. If you guys are coming in late, please watch the replay. And if anybody else wants to share a story, I'd like to get you on. Is anybody wanting to come on tonight? I can send you a link, and let's get you guys in here. We want to hear more stories, more encouraging stories, or if you just want to say hi, whatever. I want to bring you guys on, and I'm gonna send a link out to you guys. Just let me know, and we will do this. What is the date of today?
It's 6 now.
All right, so it's the sixth,
Yes.
and all right, I'm gonna put the link in there right now, guys. No, right now. I'll try. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. There goes the link though. If you guys want to join, is anybody coming on? Can you just like kind of like give us an advance notice?
Mhm.
We'll get you guys on. But if not, we'll end it. I don't want to end it. I want to keep going, but when it's over, it's over. I don't know, man. I feel like the spirit was here with us tonight.
Right. hmm
Come on, ain't nobody out here. I've been wanting to see this guest, and then I want to see Tashi on the show because they've been some serious good followers. They've been on every single night we go live. It
Well,
seems
that's
like
awesome.
commenting, sharing, all those different things. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys.
hmm Yep.
Let me see here. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for tonight. If you have anything, nothing else, Miss Trucker, I'm gonna end it on that one.
All
Grace and
right.
peace.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. As
And you
always.
guys see her link right there, Mother Trucker. That will take you to her IG page. You guys can find out more about her. You guys can link to her, and you know, she does do coaching also. So I just wanted to put that out there too. And we
Privately.
also have our donate button, and that's shared between us right here. If you guys want to donate, it's not necessary, but it's always greatly appreciated. You guys have a great night, and we will